welcome to this edition of Keep, Watch, Pass. And we are going to get a little adorable, if you will, on this episode because we are dealing with movies starring Drew Barrymore. But here joining me is someone even more adorable, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing today?
Aw, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am good. It's funny too because as I was saying that, she's like, oh, I know what he's going to say. She got all cute and stuff.
Well, I mean, of the Hollywood actresses, Drew Barrymore has to be one of the cutest. Like, really.
I mean, I think
she's adorable.
I think she does qualify as adorable for sure. Now, by the way, we fully recognize that Drew got in a little bit of heat during the actor strike when she was trying to start up her show again. We're not going to touch that at all because we don't deal with that. We just talk about movies and whether they're good and they're bad and that kind of stuff. So we are staying away from any and all kind of drama out there. We're just talking about the body of work of one Miss Drew Barrymore. And that's a hell of a career. Like when we were picking actors in order to be able to go through with this, how excited were you that we were covering Drew Barrymore?
Well, going through her filmography, it was like, okay, wow. There's like young Drew from E.T.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, not so much on the movies now that she has her own TV show.
Exactly.
But, I mean, even if you were to look at the scope of work of her production company.
Oh, she's busy. She's very, very busy.
Yeah, like there is so much creativity that comes from her. And I think it's, you know what? Again, we're not going to get into the past. She made good on it, but I think her energy is just so genuine that, I mean, I'm not defending, but I don't think she had any ill intent. She just has so much passion for what she does and just brings it to the table always. So, you know, take that for what you will.
She has definitely been there, done that.
She loves what she does.
And brought the bag of potato chips as well.
Right.
But here's what we're going to do. We are about to go through the filmography of Drew Barrymore and pick 3 movies each, a keep, a watch, and a pass. The keep, obviously, is a film that we hold in high regard. The watch is one where, yeah, you know what, if it's on, I ain't changing the channel. I'll sit down, I'll watch it. It's the 4th or 5th movie in the 7 movies for 7 days. You know, it's not the last. And then there's the pass. The movie that we would skip or just ignore or change the channel because we don't want to. But we're going to start with our keep movies. And Carrie, Drew Barrymore, which movie is your keep?
I get to lead the charge on this one.
You do.
This one was a no-brainer for me. When I think of Drew Barrymore, I think of her role as Chuck Barris's girlfriend that she played so incredibly perfectly in Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
I knew you were going to pick that movie.
That movie, you know what? It was a no-brainer from the start. It had to and always will be my keep. It is, without a doubt, one of my favorite movies. And
she's got the book.
She is so much fun in that movie.
I mean, here's the thing. It kind of hits like the perfect Carrie checklist here. Sam Rockwell, check. Drew Barrymore in a cute role, check. Very good Julia Roberts role, check. Starring and directed by George Clooney, check. Like it's
Yep, I keep coming back to it. Like,
yeah.
How many different shows have we talked about this movie? So,
you know, you make fun of me for the number of times I try to, squeeze in Demolition Man in there, and this is your Demolition Man, isn't it?
Even better. It's my confession
of
a dangerous mind.
This is my confession. No, not gonna get me singing. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I do love that film. It is such a good film. It's not on my list though.
What are you keeping?
I'm actually keeping the first Charlie's Angels film.
Oh.
Because it was so much fun. Like just so much fun. And it did the smart thing when you're taking an older TV property, which if you take a look at some of the TV properties that were turned into films, the ones that had fun with the property but yet still kind of stayed in the realm of the property were the ones that did really well. Like, look at Starsky and Hutch, right? Is it a great film? Probably not. but is it a fun film that fans of the original series and fans of Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson can, really enjoy? And come on, Snoop Dogg is Huggy Bear.
Well, this is true, but then what happened with Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah, but you know what? We're going to be covering Dukes of Hazzard in 2024, aren't we?
I know. The fact that it's a contender for our show means that it was unfairly maligned.
Right.
That one, again, same concept. They took a lighter spin on that TV property and it crashed and burned.
And I mean, not only do you have, a phenomenal trio in Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu, who were perfect in the roles, right? You have McG as your director, really at the peak of McGenius, right? Or McGenius, if you will. I went there, didn't I? But it was the perfect storm of everything that worked right with that. And if I remember correctly, I think Full Throttle, the second one, actually does qualify. So we may have to revisit that one. I have to double check the Rotten Tomatoes score. I don't have it in front of me, but I would have to double check that. But I think also this is why the Kristen Stewart led Charlie's Angels that was done like years later failed, because the original was so much fun. And I think it's almost like they tried to almost mimic what they did with the original TV series, and they forgot to have fun with it. And I think that's the thing. If you're going to do a property like that, have fun. People are going to the theaters because they want to have fun. They don't necessarily want to be bored or reminded of something that's just episodic television. Take it, give it a unique spin, and it hit everything that was hitting at the time too. Like, it felt like a movie of the moment for sure. But now we get to our watch films. I tossed one up and then I swapped it, because I don't know if it would have qualified or classified, because in the movie I was thinking of, it was a documentary. And that was My Date with Drew. But not the film I chose. I ended up going with Drew Barrymore's directorial debut, and she was also a star in it, Whip It. This is a film that features Elliot Page joining a roller derby team. And Drew Barrymore is part of the roller derby team as quote-unquote Smashley Simpson.
I love it.
But, I mean, let me go through the cast for this film, okay? Elliot Page, Drew Barrymore, Marcia Gay Harden, Daniel Stern, Kristen Wiig, Jimmy Fallon, Zoe Bell, like Juliette Lewis. It's an awesome cast.
Oh my God. See, I noticed that when I was scrolling through her filmography, and I've never seen it.
It's a fun film. It really is. And
you've seen it?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
You fall asleep during movies.
I do.
You do. So I highly recommend staying awake the next time it's on. It's a great film. It's not a comedy and it's not a drama, right? But it's that pleasant in between where there's a deep story, but it's also a little bit on the lighter-hearted side. I can't speak English today. Please help me here. But I think Whip It, and as far as a directorial debut, Drew Barrymore killed it behind the lens.
That was her directorial debut.
It was, yeah.
What year was that?
That was 2009.
Okay.
So it's not that old, but it's also, as of we're recording this, 14 years old. So maybe it is that old. But still, regardless, Drew Barrymore proved that she's a very good director.
Still, roller derby.
Right? It's roller derby. And come on, Smashley Simpson.
It makes me think of, there was that TV series, wasn't there?
There was a roller derby TV series on around the same time as American Gladiators. Which, American Gladiators. But, I mean, even the names, like Elliot Page's character in this was Babe Ruthless. You had Eva Destruction. Like, come on. I mean, that's just roller derby fun. But what have you got as your watch film?
My watch is Never Been Kissed.
Okay.
Because you know what? Again, when you think of Drew Barrymore and how incredibly freaking adorable she is, you got to think about this movie. Like, going back to high school or flashing back to high school, and I mean, she just played it so well.
I mean, when you think about the movies that she was doing around that time, right? Between this and Ever After, like it was almost like not necessarily the rom-com film, although I would definitely classify Never Been Kissed as a rom-com. But Ever After, like she was very much the romance go-to girl at the time. Like, and that's I think where the adorableness factor kind of came in, right? She was just so pleasant and so seemingly genuine in these romantic roles back then. And, I get actors age, but I think, if given a role like that today, maybe in like an America's Sweethearts kind of feel for it, Drew Barrymore, I think would still kill it.
I very much liken her to, at the time or years previous, it was always like Tom Hanks and
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan was like the go-to mashup. And then fast forward to, maybe 2009, 2010 to 12. It was always like Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. I mean, how many different movies did I have to like say, okay, am I going to pick this because of Drew Barrymore? Am I going to pick it because of Adam Sandler?
See, you got half a good combination there.
Dun, dun, dun. They do make a great matchup. And
I will give them that. And as much as I'm not the biggest Adam Sandler fan, and I said that on It's Not That Bad a number of times, I'm not the biggest Adam Sandler fan. I appreciate how he runs his production company, and I appreciate how he runs his film sets, because you see the same people constantly coming back and seemingly having a ton of fun on set. So, I'll never diss him as a producer. I'll never diss him in putting these films together. I may not be a big fan of him, but I do appreciate everything that goes into it. But yes, sometimes someone pairs very well with another actor, and you have that Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler connection, and it does. I mean, also these days you also get the Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston connection, but I think it worked better with Drew Barrymore.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I could see them, working well together again, as they should. But now we get to your past film. And this feels almost sacrilegious. After all the nice things we've said about Drew Barrymore, now we're going to put a past film out there. So, Carrie, what's your past film?
Well, I can honestly say my past film is not passing because of Miss Barrymore. But in general, I had to vote for Batman Forever. And I think that's because that is not my Batman. Okay? Michael Keaton is the Batman. No disrespect to Val Kilmer. I really do. I loved him in Doors. Loved him in Top Gun. Okay? But he is not my Batman.
Val Kilmer was not the best Bruce Wayne.
He had the lips for Batman.
He was a good Batman, but he wasn't a good Bruce Wayne.
But not my Batman.
But also a very, kind of crushed on Nicole Kidman from Batman Forever, so I kind of have a soft spot for it.
Oh.
I'm full confession here.
Learning for the first time.
Okay, well, she looked great in that film.
But did she have red hair?
Oh, yes, she did.
Was she Poison Ivy?
No.
Catwoman.
She was Dr. Chase Meridian.
Oh. Huh. I did not know that.
Well.
Okay.
It's a confession. It's
All
a confession. I'm sure eventually we're going to come to movies where you're like, yeah, maybe I had a small crush on him kind of thing.
Drew was cute as a button in the movie.
She was.
She was.
She was. Absolutely was.
But still.
But I mean, like, we've done an episode on Batman Forever on this show when Laura Abishaw was on. And going back and watching it again, it is fun despite some of the campiness. It got really bad in Batman and Robin, and I am dreading the day that movie comes across. But for Batman Forever, I think there was still some good aspects to it. It would definitely not be my pass, because I if it's on, I'll watch it. I would classify that as a watch for me.
Nah, I'd pass. That'd be the movie I would fall asleep to.
Well, if you want the nap, I'll watch Batman Forever so you can have the nap. Okay. My pass. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to give you a quote from the film. And dear listeners, if you know, you know. And if you know, I'm sorry. But Daddy, would you like some sausage? I am passing on Freddy Got Fingered, as I'm sure most people would.
Okay, but you didn't say it right. Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Right now, people are having PTSD from listening to this if they have seen Freddy Got Fingered. Look,
and those who have it are like, what?
Where do I even begin with this film? I don't even know where to begin with this film.
Now, was that the beginning of their relationship, Tom Green and
I think they had already started dating, kind of thing. I don't know if they were married at this point already, but...
Or was it the end?
May as well
It's the movie
have
that
been.
brought it down.
I mean, the thing is, Freddy Got Fingered... Tom Green is a very... You either get him or you don't. You know, and if you liked his comedy, then you're probably going to like Freddy Got Fingered in its complete... I don't know what
absurdity.
The fuck this. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, having Rip Torn in there, you can't go wrong when you got Rip Torn in. But Freddy Got Fingered, I'm not gonna lie. If we ever end up doing an episode on Freddy Got Fingered, I'm gonna have a hard time defending it.
Ooh.
Like that's gonna be a tough one.
Challenge.
No, just no.
Aww.
And that's nothing against.
See, I didn't hate it. It falls very much in line with, you know, my road trip movies or.
See, here's the thing. Tom Green was good in Road Trip.
He was good. Yeah, I love Road Trip.
That's good Tom Green.
But it's that buddy, dare I say, stoner buddy comedy. I don't know, like falls in line very much with Road Trip. And there's another movie that I'm trying to think of. I can like
Euro Trip.
Picture it. No.
Sex Drive.
No. Was the they were doing like a scavenger hunt. It was
Rat Race.
Rat Race.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, Rat Race is very much in the vein of the Cannonball Run films. And, you know, I'll admit, I loved the Cannonball Run films growing up. And they were, I don't know if going back, if I were to watch those movies now, they probably wouldn't, you know, hit as well as they did when I was a kid who didn't know anything about movies. But Rat Race kind of fits into that. And yes, Tom Green and his comedy worked well in a movie like Road Trip. And it worked well in an ensemble. And if you watched the shows and you got his humor, then it's great. It's all good. But the movie just fell flat. And I just didn't get it.
Fair enough.
But Carrie, thank you. Thank you for this. But before we go, please remind our listeners, what were your keep, watch, and pass for movies starring Drew Barrymore?
For Drew Barrymore, I am absolutely keeping, and every chance I get, talking about Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused. Okay. I am watching Never Been Kissed, and I am passing, I am so sorry, but I'm passing on Batman Forever.
Just don't pass on Dr. Chase Meridian. Anyways, my keep is Charlie's Angels. My watch is Whip It. And my pass, and it's a hard pass, is Freddy Got Figured. Carrie, thank you so much for this. Now, listeners, we want to know what movies you would have picked and how you would have classified them from the filmography of one Miss Drew Barrymore. Hit us up on social media at Not That Badcast or go to our website at notthatbadcast.com and let us know. Until next time, Carrie, you are lovely. Listeners, you are all lovely and adorable as well. This is Keep, Watch, Pass. I'm Jason. Take care.
Hey folks, Stefan Shirazi and Renee Richardson here from the Metallica Report.
And we are proud members of the Pantheon podcast family, where the best of music and podcasts unite.
We've got something pretty cool for you. We're giving away an exclusive Metallica merch package worth over $250.
That's a whole lot of Scary Guys, skulls, M72, and other sought-after Metallica swag. And we've made it easy for you to win. Follow and share the Metallica Report, and you're in the game. Go to pantheonpodcast.com/Metallica, enter your email, and hit that button to be entered to win.
And just like that, you're eligible for our monthly exclusive Metallica merch package.
And guess what, rockers? You can enter every month, so just do it. And while we love our global brothers and sisters, the lawyers won't let us ship outside the U.S.